We have another co-author. We have another co-author of this important paper on the line. He's our own friend and compatriot, Dick Manasseri. Dick, how are you this morning?
Hi, Janice. We have to work on the electronic fingers there. Don't worry about that.
I guess so.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Dick.
Wallace has very heavy duty expertise in this area, and I think maybe one of the things we could pick up on is the notion of the dollar, the money. The House of Bribes is part of the title, and really talking about a sellout of our own sovereignty to international business interests. We talked about that before. I think maybe when we talked about the Muslim Brotherhood and their ability to establish infiltration into America and their interactions with Qatar. And basically it has to do with the fact that in the Middle East, Islam is backed up by very, very, very rich people. Mm-hmm. And even though sometimes they come to America, and we think of some of them, frankly, as refugees, typically they laugh at us because they get on welfare in America, even if they bring money with them. So at the high end of that, though, we have the Chamber of Commerce dealing with rich people in the Middle East, and apparently opening up markets, and Chamber of Commerce in Qatar, opening up business opportunities in Iran. Somehow, big business in America is more important than potential for a regional nuclear war. We talked about a regional nuclear war with Wallace. I hope you can get him back in, but nuclear regional war, we actually talked about it, and I'm sitting here thinking through what that means to Israel, what it would mean to American forces that are attacked in Saudi Arabia, and I think that's a really important thing for people to pause and think about. What would the reaction back in America be? How would that affect our military? To what degree would the United Nations be brought in? To what degree would that be a weakening of America's status in the world and somehow a capitulation to just taking America down, which I think is behind a lot of what we're talking about?
Dick, real quick, this deal was put together with the all of the favorabilities going to Iran. They've got a backup. For their position. They've got the largest corporations in America that are going to do business with Iran. It's going to be very hard to stop them from doing business once they get the okay to start.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Europeans that are willing to and are just chomping at the bit to get in there. And then you got Russia and China all wanting to do business with Iran. What did the United States get out of this deal except to stab our closest ally in the back and to sell out the people of America? Our Congress should be figuring out a way to file charges of treason against the State Department and then impeachment proceedings against Obama.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, the day that they decided not to impeach Obama, with full complicity, obviously, on the part of the Republicans for a number of reasons, that was the turning point for all of this. And I think the other thing is, when you mention Congress, I think Congress is probably passé in the United States. I think you look at the impact the United Nations has.
Yes.
Obama loves to stick it to America. He loves to stick it to the theoretically the equal branch, the legislative branch, which he has made completely not equal, and in some ways, the elite in the Republican Party has made that happen.
Well, that's the third frame of the backup that I was saying that favors Iran. Then the Congress puts together a sanctioning group from Congress that makes them irrelevant because they have no way to stop this if they follow the rules of that they set down in that, which is against the rules of their organization in the first place. You have to have 2/3 to get over this thing instead of 2/3 to get it passed. This is just crazy. They should never have come up with this Sessions agreement that Sessions sanctioned to get this thing off the ground in the first place. We've been sold out. We've been penetrated and sold out.
Well, you know, the interesting thing, oh, excuse me, Phil, I'm so sorry. But the interesting thing is another one of these players from Iran in this debacle here is a man named Titra Parsi. And what he said is that the people are ignoring the president's real achievement, that he blocked all of Iran's pathways to a bomb, but more importantly, he has proven to America that security is better achieved through diplomacy rather than militarism. Now, where's the security that he's citing? Do you feel more secure as a result of this deal?
Very naive.
I think it's worse than naive. I think it's
Valerie Jarrett
implicit.
is something behind the scenes she's been working on since she's been with him and all her life. That they've always, like you said, they wanted to normalize this relationship with Iran. And in addition, all these billion-dollar companies just cannot wait to get their hands on Iran.
Yeah, follow the money.
And they selling out the our moral principles here for a few dollars.
And let's don't forget.
And it's gonna come back on.
Let's don't forget the Clinton influence in this deal too.
Oh,
because,
absolutely.
She was the one that set the pathway for it.
We have Gary from Hazel Park.
Because she the one that manipulated this the Benghazi. She the one that had him pause so that they didn't send over help to help the 4 Americans that died over there.
Right.
She was the part of that debacle over there. She should take. She is somebody that need to be brought up on charges.
Yes.
Gary from Hazel Park, join the conversation.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, it seems to me, you can go back 100 years and mark when the Archduke of Ferdinand was killed, that set the stage for 100 years of war. Obama now has set the stage for another 100 years of war due to his stupidity.
It's almost too seedy to even fathom. It really is. Dick, what do you feel about the situation that we have at hand? Do you think that Vladimir Putin is being set up as the world president?
I think the United Nations and Putin and China are being set up, and I think Islam is a convenient way because of Sharia and the fanaticism that goes with Sharia. I think at the end, I think basically Putin and China, a nuclear Iran with the UN can trump anything that else that happens. And I think, I personally think the president is willing to participate, bring America to a second or third class status in the world. And I think he believes that he will move on to a position somewhere in the world order, probably at the UN, which he prefers. And the thing that's just incredible to me is the lack of any understanding or caring for the human beings who live in the United States. I guess the other thing I'd like to point out, on the break I heard an advertisement for a visit to the Holocaust Museum.
Right.
And I applaud you guys for that. So here we are. We talked about Israel as, they're human beings living in Israel. And when we actually had the conversation half an hour ago about a regional nuclear war, and obviously what that would mean to Israel, that would be obviously at any regional level, it's still a Holocaust to the people in Israel. It would be a Holocaust to any American troops that would be attacked in the Middle East. And personally, I don't know. I think I respect Wallace's opinion on everything, but I do think the ability to keep it regional would be a real challenge. If you have imported into America, and we just got word, as you know, Janice and Del and Phil, in Michigan, we're well aware that the gentleman who's the head of Lutheran Services for Refugee Resettlement in Michigan has pretty much let the cat out of the bag that we will likely get 10,000 Syrians in Michigan over the next several years as part of this. So if you're bringing people into America, something like the people we're seeing in Europe, the notion that we could contain some type of a nuclear activity that starts in the Middle East to be regional, I got to believe that there would be pockets in America for whom that would be the red light to begin some type of aggression in America, whether it's regional or nuclear, who knows, but that's terrifying for the Holocaust. It could actually affect people in the United States. So we're well into the situation where we have to take everything we're talking about seriously and find a way to put a stop to it. I think this paper is a wonderful read for people. There's tremendous research in there. We need to understand the greed that is affecting the world, the anti-Semitism that's affecting the world, and we need to bring it home to places in Michigan.
You're absolutely right, Dick. I want to thank you for joining us this morning. We're about at the end of the show, and there's a lot of information that we've shared with us on Saturday morning, October the 10th, 2015. We do hope that you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check back regularly on artofmichigan.com or janicedaniels.com because you're going to get a lot of information on a lot of these issues and upcoming events. Phil, did you want to add something?
I just want to say, especially when you're talking about the Syrians coming in here, we have got to make sure that we start initiating something on the EMP pulse, the electromagnetic pulse. We've got to harden our circuits.
We'll look at that on another program. We want to pray that you have good health, and we want to pray for the good health of our beautiful country. God bless you all. This is Janice Daniels. We are over and out.
The Abolitionist Roundtable invites the Wham! Talk 1600 listeners to continue the roundtable discussions by mailing correspondence to Art of Michigan, Post Office Box 135, Garden City, Michigan 48135.
Or follow Phil and Del at artofmichigan.com. You can also send emails to artofmichigan@hotmail.com. And most of all, continue to listen every Saturday and tell a friend.